Hello, so this is just a basic guide on the Arma Reforger tools and creating a default vanilla mission on it. So the first step you're going to want to do is actually go up here to your Steam. You're going to want to click up here, select tools, and scroll down to see Arma Reforger tools. Make sure it's the tools and not the experimental. So once you get these tools, download them. It's like 100 megabytes. It's not too insane. You're going to want to launch your Arma Reforger tools. Alright, once you open this up, you're going to be greeted with this window here. Usually when you're going to open up, it's going to be blank. I just have some projects here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press create new. These are mods. We're not going to really worry about this today. It's just going to be base vanilla. So up here is going to be your project name. So what we're going to do is we're going to name this test video. This is the location where it's going to save. Just leave this base. We'll get into this later. And what it's going to do is it's going to load and it's going to open up your workbench. This is where everything can really work from. So you have your word editor, particle editor, animation, script, audio, all this shit. So you have control over everything here, but we're not going to worry about this. We're going to really just worry about the word editor. So as you can see here, you have your test video folder. This is where your mission is. Think of this as like in the Arma 3 other profiles where you had your mission file. This is your mission file. So we're just going to start and immediately create two new folders here. One named worlds and one which is case sensitive missions. Make sure you have it like this. Once that is created, what you're going to want to do is go to Arma Reforger, and just to get you familiarized with the files, you are not going to worry about any of these. The only one you're going to worry about is prefabs. Now, basically what a prefab is in the Arma engine, think of it as the editor had prefabs in it. These were things you could place down that already had their scripts, their hitboxes, and all that. So if I pulled something from the assets and I was like a sandbag, it wouldn't have the scripts it needs to be able to block bullets and tell the AI to not fucking run into it or run through it. So think like that. So prefabs, and I lied actually, because we're actually going to have to go to worlds here real quick. You're going to go to worlds and you're going to select the world you want. We're just going to do Ireland today. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to double click on Ireland. That's the only time you're going to go outside of the prefab folder unless you're doing something like really advanced, but we're not going to be covering anything that advanced today. So as you can see, this opened up the world editor. This is what I talked about in the workbench. So this is literally Ireland, all of it. What you're going to want to do is select your AO. So let's select this fucking lighthouse here. So we're going to make this lighthouse defensible. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do file, new world, create a subscene. And this is basically just, so the world itself is here. This is Ireland. This is all the objects that make up Ireland. What we're doing is we're building on top of that. So now what you're going to do after creating a new subscene, you're going to save it. And this can be named pretty much whatever you want. So I'm just going to name it test video. Save it in the worlds folder. Press OK. And now, so these are layers. So there's not really important too much for what we're doing today. But essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create layers, and it's just for basic organization. So like, hey, this is our game mode layer. This is going to be our manager's layer. And this is going to be our swan layer. And we're going to, So you're going to right click on game mode, set it as active, and then you can right click and delete default. We're also going to create just objective one layer, because why not? I like to organize that. So now with the game mode, what you're going to want to do is go into your prefabs. Now you're going to want to go to your MP, and you're going to see this tab called, modes. And in the modes, you're going to have conflict, obviously deathmatch, plain, which is just like, it's a plain game mode. You can do whatever you want with the game mode. It can get kind of really in depth. We're not going to worry about that. 90% of what we used to do as coalition can be done in game mode editor. So you're going to drag that. You're going to want to take it from here, drag it into your the world here. And now what it's going to do, it's going to place a game mode here. And these are all the scripts that make up this game mode. So you can change the respawn times, saving and loading, voting. You can change everything. The configs for the maps. 90% of this you're not gonna worry about. You can worry mostly about your respawn system, which is pretty much already handled for you in the editor really well. You don't have to worry about that. Your respawn timer, obviously, to change it depending on the mission. If you want to have respawns, if you don't, If you don't want to have respawns, I'm pretty sure you could just click that, and boom, your respawns are not going to be enabled anymore. It's really simple. And then that is all we're going to do in the game mode for now. What we're going to do is set as active for managers. And managers, think of them as your modules from Arma 3. It's kind of a generalization. It's really not that, but that's the best way I can describe it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a faction manager. And this is essentially what this is doing is it's telling the engine what factions we want for our game mode. So we're just going to do faction manager editor because it's going to include all 3 factions here, the Soviets, the FIA, and the Americans. And all these are not playable when you first start. So what you want to do is you want to click on this value is playable. Now you can edit everything about the faction, to the flag, to the name, to everything, literally everything. You can change the groups that you can spawn in the Zeus, the vehicles that are theirs, the characters. It is literally whatever you want it to be. And this is the beauty of Reforger, is that you have this full, whereas you before had to make like mods and shit to make like custom factions, you had to go through all these hoops and hurdles. You can make your own shit. It's fucking cool. The loadout manager, so this is literally what Coalition kind of did with our loadouts. So essentially when you go to the menu and you select your loadout, you're gonna select your slot, you're gonna have loadouts at the bottom. And we're just gonna keep it simple for now because we're just doing vanilla, but obviously you can make it so it's more shaped like Coalition if you want, or even your own loadouts depending on the mission you want to make. So we're just gonna do US, and there's obviously all these values right here. We're not gonna go to loadouts today. I might do another video on that later. But for now, this is all we're gonna need to get it started. And now once we have the faction that we're gonna play as the US. We have the loadouts for the US. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a garbage manager, which is just gonna clean up any sort of like clutter that appears. It's basically like the cleanup tool. We're going to do tag manager, and then we're going to do. All right, so this one's kind of important. So we're gonna do 3 here. SCR underscore AI world. AI world. And this is it right here. This error pops up. I really have no clue. This doesn't work unless you put it here. So this is SCR AI world. Essentially what this does is it gives the AI an idea of what the fuck it's walking on, because otherwise it thinks it just can't. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on nav mesh world component, this top one, set class, and then we're going to go to nav mesh files, worlds, game master, nav meshes. Because we're on Ireland, we're going to select the Ireland regular, and boom. So there that is. And then so basically this is a high definition one. It's used for the soldiers to walk around the map, and this is going to be your low res one. So what you're going to do is click on these 2 dots right here on the nav mesh file, Arma Reforger, worlds, and you're going to go to, I believe it's MP low res Ireland right there. Boom. And this is going to tell the AI basically how to walk. Now we need to tell the AI to perceive. We are God. Now it can perceive. We need to have hit reg so the AI knows it got shot. Boom. Now the AI knows it got shot. Now what we need to add is radio manager. And then we're going to add MP chat. This is going to be your chat manager. So this is going to manage the chats. So you can have the different channels you want to have. Pretty self-explanatory. And then after that, it's going to be, you're going to want to do your environmental probe. There we go. This is just going to give the lighting, all the good lighting that Reforger has added to it. Okay. And so our last one is going to be world PP. And once world with PP is added, this also just adds more like post-processing effects that Arma Reforger comes with that are really, really nice to have. So at this point, you have this is good to go. You can set up your Zeus scenario, but the players won't have a spawn, so we're going to set that up real quick. So set the spawn as active, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to Arma Reforger, prefabs, MP, spawning, and we're just going to do spawn point US, and we're going to have the US spawn at this little shack right here. Boom. And this is essentially a spawn point. And now what we have here is literally a working mission file. It is that simple to create a Zeus mission file, and you could load this up and place AI down and do whatever you want by yourself. But we'll obviously get into placing AI into the world editor here soon. But as you can see, look, you press play, you load in, it works just fine. And you can spawn an AI. And he will spawn on here and show you that, hey, we're going to tell them to walk over there. And what the AI is going to do is it's going to walk around the building instead of just running into it if they didn't have the nav mesh file. That's cool. And then if we spawn a light infantry team to combat this team here, and just fucking, they start shooting each other, the AI will take hits, they will die, they perceive, they start shooting each other. Looking all good. So there you go. You have a working mission file at this point. Now we can go into the more customizable factors of it. So we can set as active again the managers, and we can add a time and weather manager. So here it is, and this will allow you to change the wetness of the map, accumulation. You can have different weather states and weather parameters. I haven't really experimented with that too much yet, but the idea is that you can have different day durations, update frequencies. You can have the different time zones when the mission starts. You can have it start at night, or you can have it start in the early morning. You can adjust the year, month, day. You can adjust on the latitude and longitude where it's on the planet. You can do anything. It is really fucking cool. We're just gonna leave it there. We're gonna start it in the early day. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start placing objects around the map, so that way the AI can have like bunkers and shit to hold out in, as well as we're going to place AI down to garrison these bunkers. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at bunkers here. So once again, click on the prefabs. Don't just click in here and just scroll through and be like that. Just click on prefabs and you'll get your prefabbed items to use. So we're going to use, let's use this USSR bunker right here. And so, okay, so here, we're going to go over the tools here for dragging around. This one is, it snaps to ground. So literally it's that. You just drag it around and it goes along the ground. This is literally the old editor, like how it was in the old editor with like snapping to ground and all that. If it doesn't work too, go down here, ground manipulation tool, and snap to ground, and it'll just snap the object to ground. So if it was like raised, okay, well, if it was raised up, it would just snap to the ground instantly. Pretty cool. Oh, we made a mistake here. So if this ever happens where it's like, oh shit, I placed something in the wrong layer, simply drag and drop into the new layer. We're gonna set this as active, and boom. So now we have a bunker set up there, a little MG bunker, and then we're going to have another one. We're gonna have another MG bunker set up back here, but we're gonna do a different bunker. We're gonna do one of these sandbag bunkers here. Yeah, like that. Shift click to rotate, literally just like the old editor. And boom, now we have a sandbag bunker. So now we have to add AI, and adding AI is very similar to how Coalition did it with the preset groups and all that. So you don't just add AI characters down. You go to the prefabs, you go to your groups, and then here you have blue 4, op 4, info. We're going to do op 4. And so you click on here, and this is where all your groups are. So your base is your squad, your fire team, your fire groups, machine gun teams, maneuver groups, and all that shit. So we're going to have a machine gun team in here. All right, so we placed down the group of the machine gun team. So what you can do here is you can adjust the faction. There's two. This relates back to the faction ID when we were making our own factions in the faction manager. And then, so snap to terrain, spawn immediately. So unit prefab slots. So what we're going to do is, this is for like if you wanted to create your own teams, like your own custom composition. So right now this is a 2-man team. Let's say I want to make it a 3-man team with another assistant machine gunner. I'll go to Arma Reforger, prefabs, characters, factions, op 4, USSR Army, and I would select the AMG. Now with the AMG selected, I now have a 3-man team, 1 machine gunner, 2 assistants. But we don't want to do that. We just want to have a 2-man team for now. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select these goobers, select this tool. The ground tool is kind of weird with them. There really is no way to adjust this guy as far as I know in this. there's like no way to change the formation or get him closer. You can have like 2 different groups if you want, like one machine gun, but it's not that big of a deal. Once you spawn it on Zeus, you can kind of just drag him in there. Once we give him the defense order, and he'll just stay in there. So now we have the MG team set up in this bunker. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give them an order. So here, let me just get rid of this. Okay. So objective 1, we gotta subtract this. So now we're gonna give them orders, and now how these are done, it's weird. I'll show you. So we're going to go to your prefabs again. You're going to want to go to your AI waypoints. So these are the waypoints. It's like Arma. So like when you had these in editor and you spawned in your AI, they just did a fucking wedge and they were fucking just sitting there. So these kind of tell them very similarly to like what you would do in Arma 3. So we're going to tell them, hey, we're going to want you to defend here. And what this does is it creates a radius for the AI to defend. How we change this, we simply do the completion radius. So we're going to, if you want to make it so that way they stay in the bunker and they don't move, kind of like how we used to garrison them with like the garrison module, just simply like make it so it's the size of the inside of the bunker. So that way they don't try and leave it. So like that's a little bit too big. So we'll just check it a bit, and you know that's good enough. It really doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna name this. So you can actually press F2 to quickly rename it. So we're gonna name this Bunker 1. And now, so this is an AI waypoint defense Bunker 1. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the machine gun team. We're going to go down to static waypoints. We're going to assign them Bunker 1. And now what this is going to do is it's going to tell them to defend that sandbag bunker. And that's going to be their only waypoint. So if you press play, so let's save and press play. We're going to go into here. And over here. And no matter what's going to happen to them, they're not going to leave this bunker. Now see, this guy's kind of chilling on the outside. So like I said, you can drag them inside there, and they would just chill. They're just gonna chill in the bunker. You know, they're it's fucking Arma AI and Reforger. They're kind of stupid right now, so they're just gonna chill in there. Even if like an infantry team were to fucking stumble upon them, and they got put in tick, they're not gonna leave that fucking bunker no matter what. See, look at that. They are standing in the bunker. That guy is standing against the door of it. And look, they did not run outside the bunker. They stayed inside of it. Simple as. Look at that. They defended that position till the end. Now, if you want to get them to get out of there, you can literally just select them, give them move order in Zeus, and they'll get out and go away. Simple as. So now that we have a defense, we're going to set up another defense over here in this bunker. So we're just going to redo what we did. So we're going to Control C this machine gun team. Come over here, Control V, new machine gun team. And then we're going to select, we're going to do this, just drag them into there. Drag them. Let's get them in the bunker. Okay. You can make like macro adjustments in Zeus. It's kind of annoying in this. Boom. Look at that. He's in the bunker. And then we're going to do another waypoint defense right here. And then... So we're just going to put it in here, and then drag it so that way it's in the bunker, and then boom. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get this machine gun team, Bunker 2. Boom. Look at that. They will defend this Bunker 2. So now we're going to have a QRF team down here in the forest. So let's... This QRF team, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go back to groups, Op4. I'm going to go to groups base. We're just going to drag it in here, and Control C, go towards the ground here. We're just going to drag these guys down in there, and look at that. We have a little Russian squad down here. We're not going to give these guys any orders because as a Zeus, we're just going to have them move around as we see fit, depending on where the players go. And then now let's have patrols going up and down throughout this valley. So, or rather, we're just going to have patrols patrolling the shore back here. So now let's get a fire team or a fire group. Put them back here. So now we have this little fire group here. 4 dudes. And we're going to So how cycle worked before in Arma is you would put waypoint, 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 cycle, and it would just go back and forth throughout this entire cycle. How it works now is it's kind of like a grouping of waypoints. So I'll show you how it works. So we're going to go up here to waypoints. We're going to do waypoint move right here. We're going to drag it in. And the cool thing about Reforger is, so let's just name this, rename waypoint 1. So it's WP1. And then the cool thing about Reforger and why it's so fucking badass. Okay. And we'll create one. Look at that. It's named waypoint 2 automatically. You just Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, and it automatically names them. We're going to have them come back here. And so now this is the patrol route. They're going to go along here, down here, and back through the woods. So now what you want to do is you want to have a waypoint cycle. You can put this anywhere. It doesn't matter. What you're going to want to do is you're going to have cycle waypoints. So we have 7 waypoints. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to do, 6, 7. Waypoint 1, waypoint 2, waypoint 3, waypoint 4, waypoint 5, waypoint 6, waypoint 7. And then now what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your fire group and you're going to give them the static waypoint. And here, rename this. So we're just going to name this patrol 1. And then now we're going to go to the fire group. We're going to give them the patrol 1. And as you notice, let's save. Let's go in here and they will start patrolling these woods. And I actually made a mistake here, and I will show you that in a second. And this is a pretty good idea to show you the different waypoint types. But as you can see, they're running. They're like running to these points because it's a move. So we're not going to fix that right now, but I will show you how to fix that. So press escape. But as you can see, they were moving, and they would cycle that, given the chance. But essentially, we use the move, and what you want to do is move is just going to be like, hey, we're fucking moving, we're maneuvering. There is a waypoint patrol. You want to use waypoint patrol, and that's when they're just going to kind of walk, and they're just going to slowly move towards their next point, which is right here, waypoint patrol. And this will cause them to patrol. They'll just walk like normal, like nothing's happening. We're not going to fix that for now. We're just going to move on past it. At this point, that is how you spawn AI. Side note, big note. So we put these bunkers down, and I'll press play and I'll show you what happens when you place bunkers down in Reforger, and when you don't do this next step that we're gonna have to do. So we're gonna have a medical or machine gun team, or I don't give a fuck, machine gun team, and we're gonna tell them, hey, move past this bunker. They're gonna be fucking stupid, and they're just gonna walk into it because they don't know it's here, because it's not a part of the nav mesh file. So what we have to do, escape, go back to edit mode, and what we're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go up here to the nav mesh tool, click on that, go down to the bottom right, click on nav mesh tool, and what we're gonna do is up at the top, we're gonna do soldiers, connect, soldiers, and then we're going to do generate. And what this is going to do is it's going to generate a new nav mesh with these sandbag bunkers in them. So we're just going to wait here until it is done. Alright, so now once your nav mesh is finished, what we're going to do is going to do save whole nav mesh. We're going to go other, and this we're going to navigate. So you're going to go to your PC, wherever your Arma is at. So mine is in my C drive. You're going to go to users, your name, documents, my games. You're going to go to Arma Reforger workbench, add-ons, and you're going to go to your project. Go to so you can create a new, I like to create a new folder here, just call it nav mesh, select your nav mesh, and then name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it hi. And then now what you're going to do is disconnect, connect again, select low res, cancel, do nav mesh, low res, connect, select low res again, okay, and generate, and press OK, leave everything default, and now you just wait till the low res is done. Alright, so once this is done, you want to save whole nav mesh again, go back here, go back there, I have it saved over here obviously, test videos, go to nav mesh, and just save it as low. Now what you want to do is you want to go to managers, SCR AI world, go down here, click object properties, and switch it out. So now we're going to go to our test video, nav mesh high, then down here, select your low, and then now when we press play, we go over to the pier, and we tell let's do a medical support team to run up through this bunker. They're gonna walk around it and avoid it completely. Crazy. So you have to do that every time you place an object down in the editor. Just let that be known. Place all your objects down first, and when you're finally done with your mission file, generate the nav mesh for it and add your high and your low to your SCR AI world. Just remember that. Keep that in your mind. Alright, and as a side note here, before we finish up and move to publishing it, what we're going to do is we're going to look up Task Manager. We're going to drag Task Manager into our managers. What this is going to do is it's going to allow the Zeus to place down tasks on the map. If you press play here, go into it. And so basically what Task Manager does is when you launch it, you can select your side and you can put tasks like move to that airfield, or you can put a defense position here, and boom. And now what the Zeus can do is he can complete or fail objectives like that. Boom, look at that. You successfully defended Heifer spawn. Simple as. And then there's one more manager we have to handle here. And sorry, not manager, but we're just talking about a spawn point real quick because I never really got into it. But these spawn points over here, you can change the flag for it. You can change the names. So we're just going to name this FOB Coal. And then you can change the spawn radius. So like the radius everyone spawns in, the faction that spawns there. And show deploy map only, which could be helpful if you don't want like that cluttering your map, but it really doesn't matter too much. And boom, save that. And now we press play. And we go to respawn menu. Continue, select here, continue. Look at that, you see FOB Coal. It's now named FOB Coal. Simple as. Alright. And now we're going to move on to publishing and configuring the mission. Okay. Now we're back on the workbench. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our test video. We're going to go to our missions. You're going to click here, create config file. Name this whatever you want. I'm just going to name this test video. So press OK. Now we're going to do SCR mission header. Now this is going to create the config file here. You're going to double click on it. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select the world file. So testvideo.ent. Name, this is the name of the mission. So we're just going to do test video. Author, it's going to be me, Salami. Path, leave blank. Description, whatever you want to do. A mission for a video. Details, once again, details about the mission for coalition. And then, so this right here is something you have to do. So I'm going to have to save this real quick. So test videos, you can do new folder, images. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to select a local, just something here. I'm just going to go documents. This is for a mission I'm making right now. We're just going to do this. And so when you drag and drop it in there, you're going to click yes to all. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a EDDS. And this is what the engine uses as images, similar to how PAs were in Arma 3. So boom, look at that. So now this is going to do like the loading screen preview image and the icon for the mission. You can obviously set this to whatever you want, do as many images as you want. It doesn't really matter. The game mode doesn't really matter. We're just going to do co-op. Player count, once again, this can matter. Obviously set it to how many slots you want, or you know what the server max is. We're just going to do 20 for shits and giggles. Control save. Boom. Look at that. That's all you have to do with that config. And then now what you're going to do, workbench, you're going to want to log into a Bohemia Interactive account, publish to workshop. So project name, this is whatever it's going to appear as on the workshop. So we're just going to do mission test, working directory, leave that the same. Preview image. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our mission file here. Images, I'm just going to select this, screenshots, like just put all the images you want to use for it in the images folder, and you can do the preview image and screenshots and all that. Contributors, you can leave blank. Select your categories. Tags, you don't have to fill this out, but just put co-op there, whatever, it doesn't matter. Summary, very similar. It's just going to appear. This is what's going to appear on, sorry, I lied. Description details what appears in game. This is what's going to appear on your workshop. So a summary, a mission for a video, description for coalition. And now simply click publish. It's going to package the product. It's going to bundle it all together into a zip. And it's going to ask, are you sure you want to continue? You're about to upload 33.6 megabytes. Yes. It's going to publish the project. It's going to take a minute. All right. So now what we're going to do after finishing this, we're going to go to Workbench. Make sure you're logged into a Behemoth Interactive account. Publish the workshop. Project name, this is what's going to appear as on the workshop. So we're just going to call it Mission Test. Leave your working directory the same. Preview image, select an image from your working directory. So that's your add-ons, test video. And then we're just going to select what we use for the background there. It's just a placeholder I have. Contributors, you can leave blank. Screenshots, you can obviously add screenshots. This is just what's going to appear. So I lied. Description and details of what's going to appear in game. So this is what's going to appear in the workshop. So what we're going to do is categories. Just select scenario SP and MP, or MP. It doesn't really matter. Version 1.0.0. Summary, a test mission for coalition video. And now we're just going to click publish. It's going to package the product into a bundle. And then what it's going to ask you is, you're about to upload this much. Do what you can do. Yes. Now we just wait. All right. And just like that, your project is published. So now what we can do is we can open up Arma Reforger here. All right, so once you're in here, you can go to the workshop, click on recently added, and then you'll see mission test. Simply download it, load it up in your mod manager. Then you go to scenarios, you'll see test video. You'll see our description that we put in the config. Press play. And then when you load in, you'll see the details for coalition there. And now we are in the mission. And as you can see, all the AI is here. They are defending their QRF, and these guys should be patrolling down here at the coastline for any naval attacks. Boom. That is crazy. And now if we go to our respawn menu, press control, we can see our faction, join. You can see our squad. You can see our slot. These are all the loadouts we had. Continue, and you can see our spawn point there. Deploy. And we are in. And this is a working mission. And it's laggy because I have the fucking Infusion workbench open in the background. Close it if you don't want your game to die. But as far as I'm concerned, that is a complete mission file.